Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jeff White, Jeff White Fitness Solutions. Thanks for checking out this video today. And I just want to talk about what's going on in the world right now. We all know something isn't right. Something just doesn't feel right in the air. We got too much stuff going on all at the same time. So I got to thinking, and I wanted to just look at history and see if there's anything in history that can help shed light on what's going on today and hopefully point me in the right directions to what's going on and what I need to do or what we need to do. So I found three really big things in American history that are not taught in school that everyone needs to be aware of. And we need to really do some soul searching and think how this applies today. All right, so check these out, guys. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is Operation Northwoods. Have you heard about this? Now, when I first heard about this, it blew my mind. But as I look back, as I look at what's going on today, it seems quite relevant, even though this was over 50 years ago. So this is all real. You can go back and do your own research, but just listen to this first paragraph. Operation Northwoods was a proposed false flag operation against American citizens that originated within the U.S. Department of Defense of the United States government in 1962. The proposals called for CIA operatives to both stage and actually commit acts of terrorism against American military and civilian targets, blaming them on the Cuban government and using it to justify a war against Cuba. Now, I'm not going to continue reading, but I want you to really think about what I just read. I want you to let that marinate, how they were going to institute a false flag where they harmed American military and American citizens and blamed another country, which would give them a quote unquote reason to attack that other country. This is all verifiable. I want you to really sit down and think about that and let that marinate. Okay, so here is a document that was declassified that you can read for yourself. I won't leave this up very long, but just so you know that this is real, this is actually legit. Now, Kennedy was the president at the time, and he rejected the offer or the proposal to go through with this. But that was in 1962, and a year later, he was assassinated. So let's move on to the next one. So, okay, guys, so next up we have Operation Paperclip. Now, who heard about this one? This is really interesting. Operation Paperclip was a secret U.S. intelligence program in which more than 1,600 Nazi German scientists, engineers, and technicians were taken from former Nazi Germany to the U.S. for government employment after the end of World War II in Europe between 1945 and 1959. Conducted by the Joint Intelligence Objectives Agency, it was largely carried out by special agents of the U.S. Army's Counterintelligence Corps. Many of the personnel were former members, and some were former leaders of the Nazi Party. How many people knew about that one? Isn't that interesting? And this is all verifiable. You can look it up for yourself. And it was all a approved of by the US government. Okay, so this one is an alleged program by the CIA, and it's called Operation Mockingbird. And it is an alleged large-scale program that began in the early years of the Cold War and attempted to manipulate news media for propaganda purposes. According to author Deborah Davis, Operation Mockingbird recruited leading American journalists into a propaganda network and influenced the operations of front groups. CIA support of front groups was exposed when in April 1967, Rampart's article reported that the National Student Association received funding from the CIA. Now, reading further, in 1973, a document referred to as the Family Jewels was published by the CIA containing a reference to Project Mockingbird, which was the name of an operation in 1963 wiretapping two journalists believed to be disseminating classified information. So, Project Mockingbird actually did happen, but Operation Mockingbird is alleged. But ask yourself, do you think our news media is manipulated today for propaganda purposes? Just think about it. I don't know, guys. You tell me. Okay, so this one. So some people may say, well, that last one was alleged. So, that doesn't mean anything. That probably didn't happen. They could just be speculation. So, to make up for that alleged situation, I have another one that is an official situation, the Tuskegee syphilis study. So, the Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male, also known as the Tuskegee Experiment or Tuskegee syphilis study, was a study conducted between 1932 and 1972 by the United States Public Health Service and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on a group of nearly 400 African Americans with syphilis. The purpose of the study was to observe the effects of the disease when untreated, though by the end of the study, medical advancements meant it was entirely treatable. The men were not informed of the nature of the experiment, and more than 100 died as a result. And that went from 1932 to 1972. So there's a lot of interesting things that have gone on in the history of this country that have not been taught in school. So you have to ask yourself, have any of these things had an impact on life today? And could they be happening today as well? Take a good look around at what's going on in this world and ask yourself, could any of that back then be happening today? Makes you think, doesn't it? All right, guys. So after looking at all these different things, and there are many others out there too, by the way, you have to ask yourself, do they have our best interests at heart? Are they looking out for our best interests, or are they looking out for their own interests? So who do you trust? I don't know who you can really trust, but I strongly advise you to do your own research and see for yourself. And if you are feeling uncomfortable about some things that have been going on for the last 2 years, such as getting the jabs in the shoulder, mandatory jabs to work and go to school, high rates of inflation, layoffs. What else has been going on? Supply shortages, and then we have the war going on overseas. You have to ask yourself, what's going on in the world? So, if you are wondering what you can do to help shield yourself from some of these things, I have a list right here for you to take a look at. And the number one thing we can do is become self sufficient. We have to learn how to get out of the system. And these are some ways to do it. Own your own home. Grow your own food, stock up on food, because if there are supply shortages, or if they tell you you have to have a mandatory jab to go to the grocery store, if you have a supply of food and you can grow your own food, that won't affect you as much. If they are threatening you with layoffs and job losses, if you have multiple streams of income and passive income, that won't affect you as much. If they tell you you have to get a mandatory jab to keep working, if you have multiple streams of income and passive income, it won't affect you as much. Own physical gold and silver. That is very important in case the economy crashes. We want to get healthy. How many people do you know are on medication for 10, 20, 30, 40 years? High blood pressure meds, insulin meds, anxiety meds, etc. You want to get as healthy as you can so you can get off the meds. And another one is to have your own sources of alternative power, gas generators and solar generators. If we have power outages and rolling blackouts, you want to be able to power your home and keep your refrigerator and your freezers running. So this is just some things that I feel are ways for us to become a little more self-sufficient and independent, because you never know who has your best interests at heart. Okay, guys, thanks for checking out this video, and I just wanted to show you some things that I think we all need to be aware of. And the more we know, the better decisions we can make for our lives, for our families' lives, and for our future. And what I have concluded is we have to do our own research, and we have to work on being the best we can be physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. And that can include not relying on the government to help us or save us. So I'm just promoting a couple of my books here. I have books on achieving success, success as far as achieving our goals, healthy eating, healthy diet, investing, and a book on being the best we can be physically, mentally, spiritually, which is the three pillars of strength. So thanks for checking out this video. I encourage you to do your own research and check out some of my books. I go into a lot of detail on things we can do to improve our lives in a variety of ways. I'm a former financial advisor as well as a wellness coach and a triathlete. So again, thanks for checking out this video, guys, and do your own research, please. There's a lot they're not telling us, and what we don't know can hurt us. So take care, guys, and let's talk about this, okay? Peace.